Oh Lord, now she done went live. I can't stand old heatheness self. I'm just, you know
Somebody's
what?
saying we
I
should
can't.
restart the live.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm gonna restart the live on this lady's end. So
Hmm.
let's
Yeah,
see.
you do
Hey,
that.
ma'am. She said,
Maybe
"Can
they can
you do
just,
that?"
maybe they can just hear me. They ain't got to see me.
Well, we can't do both, ma'am.
Do
Let's
you
see
want me
what
to switch
happens.
devices, perhaps?
No,
Because it say
ma'am.
we.
Stay where
Okay,
you at. Stay where you
I'm gonna
at. We
stop.
don't. We don't
Look, she
want.
say, stay where you at.
stay. Stay where you at.
Stay,
I'm about
stay,
to.
stay.
Baby, won't you
How
just
about you guys
stay?
introduce yourself? How about that? While we trying to figure it out.
Oh, because there's other people seeing us somewhere else, huh?
Oh,
That's right, they
absolutely.
are. We're live and we're in the broadcast, you guys. So just give us a moment while while she try to handle the technical difficulties. I'm just here.
Hey, how about you guys join the live? How about that?
That's what I'm trying to do. I thought
I'm
I
trying.
saw
I
the
don't
little
see the
message.
invitation. I saw the
You
little
see
pop
at
up,
the
but it
bottom
don't.
where the little thing. So
It went a ways again.
It went away. She be doing
all
things too
right.
fast. Oh, Speedy
This is what
Gonzalez. Hey,
happens. This is
y'all.
what
Hey.
happens.
Yeah, we working it out. We send it again, ma'am.
All right. Hopefully they can get on now. I don't know. Oh, there we got an accounting strategist. She's on.
Well, I'm in your live as a participant. I mean, as a viewer, not as
Oh,
a.
it says
I don't
unable
see
to
the invite.
join. Come on now.
This is why we require adults. Stop. We gotta stop doing this without an adult. I think we've
Says
proven that
unable
there
to
needs to
join.
be
Come
an
on.
adult.
What is happening here? Where's
At
Acacia?
least
Come in here
at
and
least
help
more than
us.
20 minutes notice. How about that part? Because I'm only seeing it on the phone, but I can't go live on the phone from Instagram. Hold on, let me see what the little message say. It
All right.
mm.
So, oh, we got one. We got one.
Let
We
me
got
see.
one.
Let me
Hey.
find you. That's what I'm gonna
All
do.
right.
I'm gonna
Cool.
find
Yeah, you find me
strategic.
because the last time
That's
I was
what I'm
able
gonna
to
do.
let you join by that. So, by the way,
Okay.
I'm Lakeisha Cobbs Hayes from Key Essentials and or Strategic Behavior and or True
And or it's
CEO
not and
and
or.
Okay.
or
It's not and
and
or.
it's not and or
Yeah, I'm like it's not
and
an or.
and I mean sometimes I feel like I'm that and sometimes I don't. You know.
I can't with her.
We need Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel.
In this case, the whole car, not
Jesus,
just the
take the
wheel.
wheel.
Oh my gosh. The only person. So today, obviously, we are talking about what it costs to be the
To be the
boss.
boss.
What it costs to be the boss. And unfortunately, for some odd reason, it's not allowing for our lovely guest to get her on the Instagram. However, so we are going to proceed unless my daughter wants to come in here and try to help us out, because I can't do both.
We need an adult.
I mean, we absolutely need an adult all the time. Oh, there
Okay.
she go.
All right. Okay. We might be doing a little something, something.
All right, I
Just
mean,
a
we can
little
get
something, something.
nice.
I ran
We,
through adulthood, y'all. I ran through.
I don't think anybody taught me. I'm gonna blame it on my elders. So, as we are now at least trying to get started, um, I would like to pose the first question, which is why did you want to become a leader?
I didn't. I wasn't something I actually set out for. And all for me, it wasn't something I had strived for. Um, it actually took me a while to actually even embrace the fact that I am a leader. Like I
Mm.
literally had to do that affirmation from Tony Robbins to really get that to sit in. Like I am a leader. I am a leader. I am a leader. Um, for a long time, I really just considered myself great support. Like, hey, I help fill in. I do, help people work stuff out. But didn't realize that my suggestions were actually creating forward momentum. So it took me a while to even realize that what I was doing was a form of leadership. How about them
Mm.
apples?
Mm. And while we're in this space, can you introduce yourself? You know.
Hmm, could be helpful. Yeah. So my name is Lavon Shields, the accounting strategist and business accountability coach. That's what I am. That's who I am. That's what I bees. This
Okay.
is going on with me.
And and Miss and Miss Nicole, who are you? Who are you, Miss
My
Nicole?
mama's child. My mama's child. But in the business world, I am the Nicole Johnson, founder and owner of Girl Your Money Matters, and it's affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit.
All
Boom.
I
right.
like that. I like that.
All
The gym to
right.
get financially fit. I
That's it.
like
All
That's
that.
right.
it.
I think we all kind of getting there. So what motivates you, Miss Nicole, to be a leader?
So I think being the oldest of four girls, it was that I was born in that time where we were latchkey kids. So it was just given to me. You the oldest, that's what's expected. But throughout the years, because of life circumstances, I was always the underdog. And Whitney Houston wrote the best song for me. Tell me no, and I'll show you I can. So that has really been my theme even before she wrote it. So I'm still trying to get royalties from the record label. But
If you cannot hear us on Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, please switch over to one of those other platforms because we are live over there for whatever reason. Instagram is not our friend because we're getting some feedback that says that they can't hear either one of you guys. So they can hear me,
oh,
but they can't hear you on Instagram. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys that heads up. So I'll talk while they trying to hopefully get this together.
Get our
Thank you,
life together.
Acacia. Thank you, Acacia, for all the help. But at this time, I think what motivated me to be a leader is honestly just being with that particular, like growing up with someone that was able to kind of guide me and not just tell me what to do. And I
mm,
think that really helped because you know how I am. I don't like to be told what to do. So now I'm hearing feedback. So it's feedback somewhere on somebody's line.
yeah, I'm muted over there on Instagram on the tablet because I
Anybody
could hear
can
the
hear me
feedback
on
coming through your
here?
mic. So I am muted.
And are you hearing the feedback on my side?
Oh, it's
Hmm.
better now.
Okay. Yeah, I had it on for a second. I had both of them giving sound, and so I turned off one of them.
Oh, okay. So hopefully that's better. Occasionally let us know.
I can hear it. I can still
Do
hear
stuff
it.
by ourselves. You know better.
This is
I
the third
can.
time that we are doing this. I'm actually hearing feedback, Miss Lavon. This is the third time that we're doing this, and we still ain't got it together. And I think by next Monday we should just get a sound person to. So we may just do a check to do mic check. I don't hear myself anymore. Great job. I don't know what you did. Um,
I don't even know what I did.
all right. So,
We'll
um,
talk offline about platforms to do this with because we
Okay, so
we
here's an interesting question. Because
now
the
y'all just
initial
gonna
one
look
was,
at the
why did you want to
table.
become a leader? What motivated you to become a leader? Do you believe that leadership is an actual like trait that you have, or is it a skill, and or is it a skill that is developed? I think you're a natural leader, Keisha. I mean, one being the oldest, two just your natural just personality style. I think it's just you walk in and we everybody automatically knows that you are the alpha of the situation. That's just what it is. So, do you think that is something that's naturally inherited in most people, or do you think that it's like a almost like that mutant gene that gets triggered depending on whatever your situation is? The next thing you know, you you run it.
I definitely think it has a lot to do with the circumstances that you've been brought up in. I think it has a lot to do with the responsibilities that you had and how early on you had those responsibilities.
Bad feedback.
Yeah, you're gonna have to somebody gonna have to something. We're gonna go off. Look, if you are on Instagram, please follow us on either YouTube under strategic behavior or go to LinkedIn or go find me on Facebook. So I'm about to get off of here because there's a lot of feedback.
On LinkedIn?
I'm gonna share that, but I need to delete it. All right. Oh, I didn't leave that. Uh, all right, so we should be good here. So if you guys want to go on your side and share it while it's live through your platforms, then you probably need to do that on your iPads and whatnot. It's up to you, uh, or you could just do it after the fact. Um,
I'm finna
but
sit here and relax.
okay, sounds good to me. Uh, so I'm thinking that leadership is a part of it is innate, but I also don't think that I think that if I did not have the guidance and the training, I wouldn't know how to be a leader, if that makes sense. So I think it would have been channeled and went somewhere else if I actually didn't have some kind of somebody that taught me that the level that I have of leadership comes with a level of responsibility. Because then I
Hmm.
think that's when you start getting into like manipulation and you start getting into, you know, just all of the bad stuff that you can get into because there is a dark side of leadership. Like you can use it for bad, you know, because people
You
are
sound like
following
you're in the
you.
conversation I had at work. You sure you weren't there?
Well, I mean, I think that also goes into the conversations we've been having, or at least the point we've been kind of bringing up a lot is that yeah, leadership people assume that it's leadership when it's not. Like, being a leader is not the in charge position, and that's where that whole manipulation comes in is I am here at the top and you are my underlings and that's what you're supposed to do, as opposed to I'm just going to be the one who's going to take responsibility for the failure and you guys are going to get credit for the win. To me, that's what a leader would do. They would acknowledge where they're winning, and give their team the credit for it. And if there's a loss, they're gonna take the L on their shoulders.
In true fashion, I forgot my charger and I'm on 12%. So keep talking.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So one of the things that you know, there are some people who have titles to go with your to go alongside with your point, Lafon, that they have the title, but they don't always have the skill. And I think that people can be thrust into leadership and then emerge as a leader. Um, for sometimes like you said, Keisha, when people helped you develop you had the ability already. They just helped you develop it, hone it in, and elevate it. There are people who, they're qualified on paper, but they're not qualified to be a leader in application. Like they have no practical skills. They lack interpersonal skills, but they have the ability because of sometimes longevity, um somebody had, they were the third on the list and the first two quit, things like that. And so,
Yeah,
but
their
leader, you
technician
can,
skills are on point, but they
yeah.
gonna have to be sent somewhere to get the leadership skills.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some people who can actually, they lack common sense to be a good leader. Let's just go and tell the whole story. They just lack common sense to be a good leader.
I
Well,
mean, that's
common
true.
sense ain't common. You know,
Not anymore. I don't know when it went out of style, but it ain't common. It's lacking in a lot of people. But I like that responsibility part. A lot of people are sitting in leadership positions, management positions, where they think because they're a manager, they're a leader, and they want all the accolades and the glory that goes with it, but they shuck the responsibilities that go along with it off to other people, and that can make you begin to look really horrible to the people that you are charged with leading.
Yeah.
But there was a guy. And okay, so I'm gonna use a fictitious person, and we're gonna call him Joe.
you're protecting the
Okay,
names.
we gonna call him Joe to
We got to
protect his
protect the innocent.
identity.
We got to protect
He
the
ain't
innocent.
innocent. I said his identity, and he is not innocent at all. But he has the ability to be an influencer. However, what he's influencing people to do is not the right thing. You're bucking a whole agency, you're bucking a whole system, but there are people who hear him because he's loud and he uses a lot of big words, and he intertwines it into a lot of rhetoric, and then they think that, oh, he knows what he's talking about. Baby, go look that word up. That ain't what it that is not how it's used. That is not what Webster says is intended as intended to be used. But he sounds good, and you learn that on day one in law school. Even if you are unsure of what you are talking about, say it with confidence and make people believe that it's true. He should have gone to law school and been a lawyer, but he has managed to lead people. He has managed to lead people down the wrong rabbit hole, and it has cost some of them dearly. And I'll say this, one of the things he did worked in my favor when it came to a choice between somebody else and me. So thank you. I sure appreciate you.
Well, one of the things that, it says that leaders who focus on perks and against the leaders who focus on price. So leaders who focus on perks is they focus on what will I receive? How will this affect me? And how long will this take me? And what will you give me to stay in the game? Versus the leaders who focus on price is what can I give? And how will this decision affect others? How far can we go? What must I give to stay in the game? And I think that's the biggest thing. And when we're having this discussion on leadership and the cost the what is it, the cost to be the boss? What is the cost to be the boss? And the cost to be the boss is never a good thing if you're focused on yourself, because you can't go anywhere. I think I've said this like a few times, is you cannot people and I'm gonna say this, and I hope I don't hurt nobody's feelings right
Somebody gonna
Yeah.
get that.
Did y'all listen? Did y'all hear the disclaimer to put your feelings on the other side of the entryway to this here
now. On the other side.
Oh, well,
telecommunication?
go ahead,
Hang them
pick it up.
outside.
But you are not building a business by yourself. That's not a business. That's not a business. In order to have a business, you must be in it to build it. You are having a very lucrative hobby when it's by yourself. You have not
I
built
agree.
a business. And so when you understand that a party of one cannot build a business to scale to the maximum capacity, then you start to realize that, you know what? I need some people. And in order to talk to these people, we have to talk about how we are going to get there. What can I do for you? Because the more I do for you, the more that it then helps this business grow. Like, and I think kind of back to your point, Levon, is when I think of my business, and it took me a long time to say my business because I would always say the business or a business, or I would say key essentials, or I would say anything other than my business, um, because it's its own entity. I always thought of it as something separate. It's kind of like in my care, in care of. Like somebody said, "Hey, Keisha, you can start a business, but do understand the price that you're giving to take care of this thing." And I think, a lot of people do not, they don't look at that. They don't understand that.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I mean, if we look at the perks versus the perks is the I mentality, and the price is the we mentality. That's how I interpret it. It's more so of the on the perk side is, as you said, it's the accolades and the personal, the I my me, and this is what's going on. Whereas on the price side is understanding that everything you got to work for it, and the more people that you have working on it together who are all committed to the same vision, the same mission, the same purpose, the same why, then yeah, you're going to go far. But if you're behind a leader who is just walking and then turning around trying to figure out, hey, where y'all supposed to be behind me to go where, dude? We don't know what you're doing. Like what's happening right now, and I don't. Then this is where you start hearing your subordinates start saying stuff like, "You don't pay me enough for that."
Oh my gosh. That means that you're not really leading. You don't pay me enough for that. I
Yeah,
remember
you
them
don't pay me
days. I
enough
was
for that.
like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. You for sure don't pay me
Right.
enough for that.
Like
I'm
that.
sorry.
I don't remember that in my orientation conversations. So that's a no go.
Yeah. Yeah.
No go.
So, what are you willing to sacrifice to grow into your leadership potential?
Mm.
Reframe that term. I don't think it's a matter of sacrifice. Because sacrifice, I mean, it to me, it's the same. It's just like if I wanted to get, when I was going to get my degree, I was willing to pay in my time. I was willing to
Mm,
pay my student loans. I was willing to pay it because I wanted that. Just like if I want to go to Mastro's, I'm willing to pay the price to go to Mastro's. If I don't want to pay that price to go to Mastro's, and I'll be at McDonald's saying, "Hey, can I get that little 2 for 1 deal over there? Because that's all I'm paying for." So it's really, are you willing to pay the price of who you were to become the better version of who you are, or who
well,
you
that's
can
a
be?
good question because there's a quote here that says, "There is no success without sacrifice. If you succeed without sacrifice, it is because someone has suffered before you. And if you sacrifice without success, it is because someone will succeed after you." And that is, I don't know how to say this person's name, at Dorium, I don't know, Judson.
Mm-hmm.
Go
We,
look
we
up
was fine.
somebody named
We were
Judson. That's a
fine
whole
with it
quote.
being just the name.
So I
I mean,
look
but
at
that
it as,
there's a
what
quote
am I
though.
willing to invest in myself? So
Mm,
am I willing to invest in myself to expand my leadership skills? So when I was in school, like LaVon said, am I willing to take on these extra student loans? It's an investment, right? And then at some point in time, I got this brilliant idea while I was in law school to get my master's degree at the same time. So that investment was, I gave up some sleep. I gave up, that those were my sacrifices. I had to sacrifice some things for the investment.
man,
And
you
in
guys are
order
skating.
to,
You guys are
huh,
skating around this sacrifice word. You used invest. You use
but
It's
it
just
is.
one of
principle.
I
those
think
things where
so.
there's
I
certain
do.
words
I
that have
think
a
when so
certain
you
connotation.
listen, when you are a person who likes to go out, you have to sacrifice those times of hanging out in order. Because I can't go out with the girls when I got to study for that exam that's happening at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's a sacrifice. I'm choosing where I place my time, but I'm investing my time because that time came with it. Also came with a price tag. It came with a price tag to go to grad school and do two grad school programs at the same time. That was an investment. And so those things increase my ability to step out as a leader. It increase my ability to be of influence to other things and other people. But yes, sacrifice and investments. You need both of them in order to gain the success.
Okay. Now, Levon, why is you
I'm
stating
I'm just I'm
sacrifice?
choosing to use a to give it a different word. To me, sacrifice sounds like martyrdom in a way is like, I don't know. I just hear because when I hear the term, I hear when it's just like those horrible parents. I sacrificed my best life so you can. That's your job. You the parent. You supposed to do these things. You're paying this cost to do that. And so to me is when I hear that, I the first thing that makes me think of is when people use it in a negative format to try to get people to do what they want. I sacrifice this for you. Mm. So for me,
But
I'm using the
I
same
sacrifice
definition.
of myself for myself. That's the condition. When I wrote my law school paper, let me tell you, they said pick a word that describes yourself. Describe yourself in one word. And my whole introduction paper was I am nosy. Okay. And by man's connotation, nosy has a negative effect. It has a negative definition. But by
Yeah.
Webster's definition, it says one who is inquisitive and seeks knowledge. Just because the world calls it negative doesn't mean that it actually is. So it's really about perspective. So if LaFon says that it in her mind, what she has heard and been her experience, people use sacrifice in a negative way. I, in turn, don't use it in a negative way. It was a choice I made to give up some things right now so that I can have some other things later on.
Okay. And that was, I guess, that's the next question: is what have others sacrificed for your success? And I look at it as not necessarily a bad thing because, in I think if we take away the sacrifice part of it and not recognize it and speak it as it is, then we don't really look at the value of what someone else has done for you. Right. I think when you're looking at, what have others sacrificed for your success. And when I think of that, I remember having a conversation with my children at, I don't know, I was in my 30s and my daughter was 16, which means my twins were about 6 years old. And I'm thinking about the sacrifices that they had to make in order for us to level up to where we are now, right? The sacrifices in, her being having to look after some 6 year olds while I go to school late at night. That was a sacrifice. The sacrifices that my husband had to make in, this not necessarily being a team thing, or him having to pick up more of the slack during that time because I had to, go to school and I was gone. So, when I think about the sacrifices, and then even when starting my business, me being gone 12, 15 hours a day and my children being, seven, I want to say like 7 to 12 years old, that sacrifice has one obviously paid off, but they also need to understand we have to give up to go up. Like we're gonna have to give up
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
level up, and if we
Yeah.
don't give up to level up, then I think that's what the quote is saying. We are not doing ourselves justice. Like it says, there is no success without sacrifice. I don't think I could have been successful without the sacrifices that they made, the sacrifices that I made, right? I felt like a crappy ass mother. I felt like, dang, I'm not there. Those,
I'm missing
my
this. I can't go here. I don't see this. Yeah.
my kids didn't have this. My older kids didn't have the same mother as my younger kids, but then now my older kids don't have the same lifestyle that my younger kids have, right? So what do we have to sacrifice to kind of get there? And so I think, sometimes although we want to kind of reframe, I think it's also good to kind of sit in it and say, you know what did I actually give up? And how has and what did that cost me? But then also being grateful for what you gained.
What it afforded you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
was the benefit for it all? What did
Yes.
you
Hmm.
get out? Yeah.
So
As they
describe
say,
an
you work hard, you can eventually play hard.
yes, yes, yes. So describe an experience, Lavon, when you wavered between hope and hard.
Shoot, you want to describe every day? You just want me to start with wake up.
Wait a
Hope
minute.
this is going to be a
LaFon, I
good
need you to
day.
get out my house. I don't see you around here. Get out my house, man.
Hope and hard. So hope empowers you to believe that you can make the climb. But hard balances your experiences and prevents you from being overly optimistic. So where have you wavered between hope and hard? Is it something recent?
I mean, to me, it's the constant battle because you every day is a decision. Hey, am I? We're doing this right? Because each day is the opportunity to make sure that I'm doing the things that are important to me to achieve the goals that I want. So every time I'm battling my fear of being live or doing posts or doing anything, that to me that's the best. That's one of the times I got to battle it. Like, hey, you're saying you want clients, but if you're not going out networking, you're not doing any kind of marketing and advertising, you're not doing any kind of follow up with those people who said they wanted to talk to you, then do you really want it? And I'm the opposite of you. I'm an introverted extrovert. So that's what they call it, omniverts. So it's one of those where I can blossom in the right space, and then I can sit back in the right space. So it's the every day there is a push between, are you going to pay the price for the outcome that you want, or are you going to settle for what you got and be mad about it because you didn't do it, because you didn't get the
Mm.
results for the work you didn't do. So to me, that's my everyday battle is, okay, you talking about you want to lose this weight. Did you get up and do your workout this morning? Or did you go get those cookies that you said you wasn't going to eat? Or did you did you do these things when it comes to my business? Did you map out what you doing today? You got calls, you got this to do. Did you do that? And
Does she have to go there?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the next statement says that leaders acknowledge they must climb the hill first. But what happens when you get to the hill and you be like, nah, not today. Like, I acknowledge that. So, can I acknowledge that I must climb the hill and then not climb the hill? I mean, because
Yeah,
that's what's happening right
absolutely.
now.
Absolutely. As long
That's
as
what's
you
happening
also
right now.
accept the fact that you won't get the results needed from not climbing the hill. But
church fan.
LaFawn didn't have to call. She didn't have to call me out about that little weight thing like that. She didn't talk about my little cookie habit. She, you ain't have to tell the world about that. I'm a little offended over here. But that's for me as a business owner and a person who's still on a 9 to 5. So there's my challenge there, right? Um, and I had to learn the balance between when the job ends and when the business starts. Okay, because sometimes the job was wearing me out so much that I didn't have the energy to operate the business. Okay, and I just didn't have it. But then I had to realize, I asked for this is what I want, this is what, when I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep and my ideas are flowing, they're about my business, not the job, because the business is mine, the job is not.
Mhm.
I just work here, right? The passion for the people that I serve at the job is the same for passion that I have for the people that I serve in the business. So it is a balance. And there are some days, Keisha, when I be looking at, okay, I got to go to work. But my body said, no. We're not on today, ma'am. Not on today. We gonna so there are times I have to build in the mental health stuff for me. I'm gonna take a personal day, and I'm not doing that. But then I get my rest, and then I'm able to put in the hard work for the business
Mm-hmm.
that belongs to me, so that when I have to go back to the job, things are in place for the business to operate without me and still accomplish the goal. So there's some days when I look at the mountain and be like, nah, bro, we ain't finna tangle today. But there's some days I be like, let's go. It is on and pop. Like tomorrow morning, I'm getting up. I already got the schedule laid out. I already know what I have to do. So I'm getting my rest today so that I can tackle that mountain tomorrow because I have goals that I have to accomplish. So the hope and the heart is the balance in our day to day.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are your thoughts when it says when leaders are willing to pay the price, they gain moral authority?
They gain what?
Moral authority. So when leaders are willing to pay the price, they gain moral authority.
When I think so, to look at being morally in a place of authority, how do you balance what's good, bad, right, wrong, and actually taking on more of the charge of what the business needs to do while still uplifting the staff that you have or the contractors that you employ, and then the clients that you serve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your clients don't need to know how bad it can be behind closed doors, right? But they do know that, they can count on Nicole to put out a good quality product. They can count on her to provide good customer service, and that the topics and the things that she's teaching them is going to elevate them to what she said she would do. So they
Mm.
that building that know, like, and trust factor, as the leader is critical to being that. So when they think of what it is, whatever the problem is that you're solving for them, when they come to a crossroads, they can hear Nicole's voice saying, "Okay, this is what you're supposed to do," and they're like, "Okay," because
Right.
they become that. I become that voice for them.
And what are you thinking like when you hear that?
I
They
mean,
gain moral authority.
yeah, that one I had to step back on that one. It the way I translate that one is I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid. And so if I'm telling you that this is a route that we can take, that I think I'm willing to go ahead and do these things because I am willing to pay these prices and we'll use the term sacrifices to get there. When I turn around and look at those who I am leading, I'm saying I'm not sending you out there into the battle and just saying, hey, this is the plan, let me know. I'm and follow me.
No,
I
ma'am.
will
We cannot hear you. I don't know what's happening over there. You're glitching. You're glitching. Oh.
Badly.
Oh, there you go. You're kind of coming back. You're kind of coming back. And just in case she need a moment to kind of get it together over there. Um, I think moral authority allows for the next person to
The FBI
just
is the United
follow
States premier law enforcement agency.
just follow what exactly you're doing. And so when we talk about, pay the price, they gain moral authority. I look at it as when I am asking my staff to do the things that I've already done, I have the right to go onto the floor and say, hey, you know what, this is how you do this, and this is why you need to do this because I've done that. I've been there. I have, sat in and watched and made sure that I knew exactly what I was doing backwards and forwards. I've worked every aspect of my business so that I know exactly, what those SOPs are supposed to look like. I know exactly, how I want things. So then when I'm bringing in a new CEO or I'm bringing in a new staff person, I'm not just looking at this person like, oh, okay, well, we're only looking at, I can only see it from your eyes. I can see it from my eyes too because I've sat in there, I've been there. So I have, it's almost like a push up to say, okay, I've been there and I've done this. So here's what you need to do. And this is how it needs to be done. And then they're able to follow because now you have some life experience. And I think the worst thing that I ever hated working in a company was knowing more than my supervisor. Oh my God, that was like the worst time. If I can pinpoint every single time that I was unhappy at a job, it was because I knew more than the person that they put in charge. And now
And
you
that's
putting this person in charge, and they don't even know half the stuff I know, and so you can't tell me what to do because now I'm not listening to you. Like who are you?
or they recognize that they don't know as much as you do, but they work very hard at making it hard for you, and you're like, ma'am or sir, I'm gonna need you to fall back because what you're telling me is so far off base and wrong. I don't want to embarrass you, but if you keep coming at my neck like that, I will.
Yeah,
It's like you respect the position. You have no respect for the person who's sitting in it at that time. And that's a very challenging position to be in because I've had some supervisors where they didn't know as much as me, but they had a very humble attitude about it. And they were willing to learn. And so it was easy to sit back and make them look good, right? It
yeah,
was easy to make them look good. But then you have those who the very opposite. They have no humility. They want to do things to try to belittle their staff. But bruh, sis, hold up. You don't even know what you're doing.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's a hated place to be. I totally agree with you.
So there's this part that says perks to price. Practicing is not amazing. Studying is not amazing. Showing up is not amazing. Working hard is not amazing. Asking questions is not amazing. Changing is not amazing. Trying is not amazing. Failing is not amazing. Trying again is not amazing. It says they are the price that must be paid every day to reach your potential. If you pay the price and you do it consistently, the result is what's amazing, not those individual things. What do you think about that, Luan?
So what I'm hearing is, so the times that I do that workout that one day, and I look in the mirror like, ooh, where's my gut? It ain't. I was supposed to. I tried. I showed up.
I can't with her. I can't with her. I can't. LaFon, wait,
So
wait,
you're
wait.
so
Let's
you're trying
let's
is
do it
not
all the way
amazing.
out. I can't.
So no, ma'am, we're not giving you credit for just showing up. And I think that's where people
However, when
are right
I do
now.
it every day and I make it a part of my of the basis of who I am the person who gets up every day and about 5:30 I am in here ready to work out doing my thing because then I'm going to get the results that come with it. I can't just go ham one day and then turn around and go, well, what happened? And that's that poor leaders that come in like I got the job, so why don't I showed up, they gave me the job. I did this, so I should automatically get the all the benefits and accolades that come with it. No, bro, you got to do the job every day.
Every
You got
day.
to go before those that you lead and do the job every day consistently, and then produce results.
Oh my
Right.
gosh. And I think it's so key. Like this right here. And we have like 10 more minutes, but I think we're probably gonna fall on our sword right here because we have so many people. And unfortunately, we have these kids. And I'm going to say that I am the problem. I ain't even going to lie to you. I'm the problem. I have the children that receive the certificates. I am the mother that said, okay, baby, yes, you tried. And if you don't want to do that no more, then you don't have to. I I am that parent. So I mean, I'm talking about myself right now, but we are talking about a full on generation that think that I came to practice. I studied what I was supposed to study. I showed up. I work hard, and that's just enough because I worked hard 2 days out of the week. And well, what's the matter? I'm trying. Like, how many times have we heard that? I tried, and that should be enough, right? And I tried again, but then it never happened. And so, therefore, it probably is not for me. Like, my kids used to get participation trophies all the time. My son played football. Now, mind you, I love my son to death, but him playing football was not it. He should have never been on the field. Never. And one year he came, he was standing on the sideline. So my kid, one of my kids, so I have two sons, one superstar the entire time. And then I have one other one, I have three sons. And two of them work hard, in football. The other one, he was a 5-play player. I had one 5-play player. And he sat on the sidelines. I ain't even gonna lie. And then one day he was like, Mom, it's okay that we lost, right? He was like, we tried our best. And I was like, no, son. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not okay that you sitting over here and you okay and not upset that you lost. Like, you should feel some kind of way. You don't feel that way? At that moment, I knew that was not his ministry. That was the last time that he played football. And that was okay, because let's go find something that you are great at. And I think that's where we're alluding to. You can always go find something that you're great at and excel in that. So if you're not a
Right.
leader right now, then let's go figure out where you are. You may be a great manager. You may be, the person that, is giving out the fries.
You got to
You're great.
understand that some people are great. Some people are great at being an employee. Some people are
Yeah.
great at being on the assembly line. You're not great in leadership. You're not
Mm-hmm.
great in management.
You're a
But be
support
great where you
role.
are. I'm not great at football, but I could be great at volleyball. I'm not great over here. I'm great. Everybody has a lane. That's why we
Mm-hmm.
all have different gifts, skill sets, and talents. Don't I don't want to see anybody be mediocre over here just because they're happy with it when they can go over here and be excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know you was a football mom, Levon, so I'm sure you've seen a lot of these kids
I
come
was a
through.
football, baseball, basketball mom. We rotated all year long, keeping these fools occupied. And with I have three boys and,
So
and
you part
five
of the
nephews.
problem too, huh?
No, I was one of them ones who no, you out there, you playing. I showed up, you showed up. It ain't, we was always almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. We almost won. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, so what are we doing to fix that? So my
There
son
is
tells
no
me,
almost.
yeah, my
We
son
don't
He
tells
said
almost
it
me,
get a
only
million
counts in
yeah,
dollars.
horseshoes.
yeah, he 3 for 4 at bat in baseball. I'm like, so what happened to that fourth time? What
Listen,
did you not
I kid
win?
you not. A friend of mine, his son, I to this day I'm still angry when I think about it. His son was probably in the second grade when it happened. That boy like 22 now. But he came home with a 98 on his spelling test and he got a whooping. I was like, but why? Why would you whoop him for missing that one word? He said because he knows how to spell the word. He was not taking his time and paying attention. So I didn't whoop him for missing the word. I whooped him for not paying attention and getting the word spelled correctly.
He needed a whooping.
Yeah.
And he
He
did,
needed a
and Daddy
whooping.
didn't play. Daddy did
No,
not.
I'm
He
talking
whooped
about
it.
the daddy needed a whooping.
Right, but let me tell you something. From that point forward, that kid never missed another spelling word. And he said, Nicole, I want you to understand that it's not because he got the 98. It's not about the score. It's that when he's a young black man, everything he does needs to be on point. And it's not because he doesn't know how, it's because he was being careless. And one careless mistake can change his whole life. That little boy ain't never missed a spelling word, but he has been on point the rest of his life. I kid you not, but I'm still mad at him, and
I'm
it's
sure
20
there was a
years later.
better way. There was a better way to teach him that lesson. Is
It
all I'm
was, but you
saying.
know, listen, Haley, we everybody got a lane, and that's what worked over there with them. That's what worked over there with them. And he's a great kid to even today
Oh my
in
goodness.
school and going for the medical program and everything. So he's doing well. But he's when things don't go his way or he makes a mistake, it's because he didn't know. It's not because he knew and was careless. And I think that's a
Right.
difference.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the takeaway is how careless are you being with the things that matter?
Yeah,
You
There you
know,
go.
how careless
that's
are
it.
you? Let's turn this into a little rainbowy, a little flowery. How careless are you with the things
Flowery
that
I can
matter?
get. But I
I
know,
can.
like, with my son, when he tried to pull that, I just don't know how to do this. And I was like, no, I'm not accepting that. Because when you didn't know how to play center linebacker and you were scared about that, you figured it out. You got out there. I saw you watching film. I saw you making sure you was lifting heavier and doing better so that you can cover that spot. You know how to do better. The question is, do you want to do better? So don't tell me that it's a matter of I don't know how. I know you know how when you want it. The question
That's
is,
it.
Mm,
do you want it?
take
Listen, because
that.
when they don't know how to play that video game, hey, you know how to play this? Can you show me? They on the
Oh,
internet.
10
They
hours
Google,
straight.
Google.
Yeah,
They,
stay
Siri, somebody tell me how to master this game. They're finding all the resources to do the things that they want to do. So they have to do well at the things that they need to do, and that means putting their all into it. And honestly, it's a hard concept for some people who are adults, like good and grown.
Mm-hmm.
good and wrong.
Good and grown. I mean,
Good and
there's a whole
grown.
bunch of people out here that's good and grown and need to be asking
That
themselves some
part right there. I
questions.
like how you said that they need to be
Asking themselves some questions today. So, a couple of questions you can take with yourself is how can you apply what you've done in your life and business to is it perks or is it cost? Right? Are you paying the cost to be the boss? Because you can't just walk up in somewhere and be like, I'm the boss," and everybody else gonna be looking at you like, "She ain't the
Who
boss,"
is you?
because they know. Here's the thing is you know who's the boss. So if you have to walk around and say you're the boss, you
you
probably are
ain't the
not the
boss.
boss.
What do they say? A lion never has to roar to show that he's the king of the jungle.
Well. So what I want to do is, where can they find you, Miss Levine, if they are looking for you? Well, here's the plug. We are having a mastermind, one online on Fridays, and we are having one in person. So if you are in California, Rancho Cucamonga area, then we are having an in person live so we all can have these discussions. You don't have to listen to us just talk about, you know, maybe the same stuff you heard on the podcast, which is True CEO
Or we're
podcast.
trying to figure out our technology.
Or try to, wait for us to figure out our
LaFon,
technology.
don't do that. That's not our lane. That technology ain't our ministry.
So, what I want you to do is go follow us. And where can they follow you, Miss Levon?
So you can find me across all platforms at the Accounting Strategist. That's the website. That's Facebook. That's LinkedIn. That's Instagram. And if you want to see another side of me, that's so you can just follow me at Levon Shields. Again, I got across all of those those platforms. I mean, I am who I am. So, proceed at your own risk.
Pro- Proceed with caution, people. Miss Nicole, where can they find you?
So I am on Instagram, the Tickety Talk. I've finally mastered that part, I think. Over here on Facebook as the Nicole Y Johnson, or you can simply go to YouTube and look for "Girl Your Money Matters," which is affectionately known as the gym. I like to let them know that there are some 10 tips to increase their savings and decrease their expenses available at thenicolejohnson.com. Download those tips and start implementing today.
All right. We're going to call you Auntie Nikki.
Don't do that.
Go
See,
follow
Nikki,
Auntie Nikki.
don't call me Auntie Nikki. See, Nikki has another connotation. It belongs somewhere else. Don't do that part. Don't do that part. So
Auntie Nicole.
you do
All
that
right.
part. You do that part. But
You said you
you
don't want to see Auntie Nikki.
don't want love. Auntie Nikki do not. She don't have no Vaseline. She don't have no makeup on. She had no earrings. She got a tube of Vaseline and her hair in a ponytail, and she dressed in black. So y'all don't
ready,
want Auntie
ready to
Nikki to
go.
show up,
Her
All
tennis shoes are
right.
laced
So,
up and ready to go.
baby. And
so
I'm from
thank
the
you.
Chicago, so you never know where that blade might be hiding in the cheek, in the pocketbook, down in the socks. You don't know where it's hiding.
So, what I would like to say is we are always a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
We are always a lot of fun. I want to thank you, Miss Nicole, for coming on to our live last minute. Maybe I'll call
Baby,
her. Look, maybe I'll call her
listen,
next
got to
week and have
stay
her come
ready
on
so I don't
last
have to
minute.
get ready fooling around with her.
That's all right, because technically, I don't know if you guys realize, but we're kind of getting out of our comfort zone right now. This is not very comfortable to, I think, myself or Miss Levon. Miss Nicole, she do this all the time.
All the
But for
time.
us,
But
it
listen,
is a
winners
little
are
bit.
not born and success is not found in the comfort zone. So I
Hmm.
invite you to do this more often and it will become more and more natural.
See there, and we gonna get better at tech.
That's it. Tech is great until it breaks. We just have to find the right platform. That's all.
We on the right platform. Don't be hating on my stuff right now. We got
Okay,
Ecamm,
well, we won't tell
Restream.
everybody that I don't like it. Okay, love you. Mwah.
Hey, go ahead and hit the link. If it's not there, I'll put it there. Join our mastermind. We will see you either on Tuesday nights or Friday via Zoom. See you later. Until next time, this was True CEO Leadership Live.
Yay!